Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. So I was setting myself up. I've been feeling unmotivated for the past couple of weeks, probably the changing weather. So I got out my books, which I published, and I put them in front of me to kind of guilt me into doing my work. I set my computer up so I'd be tempted to edit some of the things that I've already done to be able to push them out. And the world's biggest motivation killer appeared on my screen. Restart for updates. Damn it! I literally spent a couple weeks saying, when I'm sitting down and I'm typing, this stuff rolls off my fingers like I'm channeling some sort of other being. It's you know the editing is tough on me, but at the same token, I'm able to look, I'm able to see my mistakes, I'm able to move on. This new guilt to make myself work idea seems to be working. It's definitely made me motivated to produce more episodes, although they're still on the same release schedule. And like I said, everything was perfectly where I wanted it so that I'd be forced to look in certain directions and say to myself, hey, I need to do X, Y, Z. But now I'm going to have to restart everything. I'm going to have to reload everything. And with word processors, it's it's not the same as an internet browser. It's not going to remember the exact paragraph you were hovering over because you didn't click on it or anything like that. You have to reload the thing from scratch, and it's an annoyance and a half. Now, I'm not running brand new Windows. I'm running, is it Windows 10, I think? Um, and on my Android, I don't even know what the different Android systems are. But this is a continual problem. Why do they schedule their updates the way they do? These things pop up at midnight. Right now, it's popped up in the middle of the day on a Friday. Not the Friday that you're listening to this. I'll have been over that by then. But doesn't somebody out there have an idea that maybe you should pop this thing up at like 8 o'clock at night or something? Well, maybe not. But Friday at the end of the day. Okay, I'm willing to go with Friday at the end of the day. Right now, it's only 1 o'clock because that way the person sees the update. They can shut their computer off and on over the weekend, let it do what it's going to, and come in Monday to a fresh start computer. It's just, this is the first time I've actually ever seen it at a sensible time. It's still annoying. It's still interrupting my productivity. It is giving me an episode of the Silverlight Show to complain about it. But it's, why are there so many updates to begin with? I understand that they're continually trying to make things better, which I think there should be some sort. Maybe you can't do this when you first release software, but Windows 10 has been around forever. Maybe they should have something where you download it or install it, whatever, and that's going to be the end result. You're not updating for this, you're not updating for that. I remember when they took Flash away from it and then released an update where we could reinstall Flash. Well, what was the point of eliminating it? That was on the Android, by the way. So these whole updates, I don't want to call them criminal because I know somebody has decided, oh, there's a problem, but there should be a big difference between these are bug fixes. And they all say that there's bug fixes. The thing they're supposed to do before releasing the software. And hackers are out there. I get that. There's vulnerabilities. But for most people are not going to be targeted by a high grade hacker. A high grade hacker is going to go after, you know, the actual switches that run the internet. That way they can sit back and monitor traffic and get all the information they want. They're not trying to break into your home computer. That's for the low grade hackers. That's for the the people who send you, oh, I'm from your bank, you know, click on this link and you'll prevent credit card fraud. And then it asks you, it's a copy of the bank's page. Put your password in here. That's how they get you. That's a social engineering attack, not a software attack. There's a big difference between the two. So why these constant, frustrating updates? I would understand if it was every 6 months or so. Like, yeah, uh, sooner or later you're going to run across things. Maybe you want to make things prettier, but it's just the constant. We need an update. You need to schedule a time for your computer to restart or restart it now. I don't like to leave it because I do other things besides record on this computer. I process data. I'll leave it to upload tax returns. There's a lot of things that I do. And I don't want the thing deciding to go off while I'm in the middle of writing, for example. And I don't know. Sometimes I do wake up in the middle of the night. This is the curse of being an artist. You're lying down, you want to sleep, and all of a sudden you get a brilliant idea. And you either need to write it down or do it. And I like to get it up and at least make a note inside the software that I'm using and saying, yeah, when the king comes to a certain pass, then an old man will come out and say he needs to enter this cave and leave his troops behind, or some crap like that. And I don't know when that's going to be, and we all know how long these darn things take to update. Android's not bad, but Windows? Maybe it's time Windows starts realizing that all that crap left over from MS-DOS 3.0 needs to be tossed. All the stuff from Windows 95. Nobody's really using Windows 95 and Windows 98 anymore, and if they do, time to get a new system. Of course, they make that difficult too. They've sent many offers for me to upgrade to Windows 11, which I had a computer that's spare. It's no longer functioning properly, but yeah, you can upgrade to Windows 11. Well, it wouldn't do it. I bought this computer a couple months ago. Why is this, the latest and the greatest, not compatible? So yeah, I get a little bit upset when I see this update thing going. Computer companies have to start making better decisions because it's negatively impacting the end user who maybe doesn't want the update. Um, it's bad enough, like I said, when the individual software packages you're using each want their own updates. And the master system itself does as well. I know they're competing companies. I know that, how am I going to say this? I know that they don't want to work together, but maybe this is a piece of information that should be universally known. Okay, Friday, September 16th of every year. I don't know whether that's Friday, but maybe you start setting this up every 6 months. There's going to be a known update, patch, whatever, and all software companies have to do that. They're allowed to release emergency updates as well, as I understand that's a thing. But make it be known, it's an industry standard. You're going to release 2 update packages a year, and everybody's ready for it. Oh, it's update day. Oh, it's update day. And that's a way that you can take away from this constant frustration of having to update at random. You're just in the middle of doing something and your computer needs to restart. Anyways, it's a minor thing, but it's a serious issue for the end users. So, for all the big software companies that I know are listening, that's an idea for you guys to work on. Or maybe a government to legislate, you know, these 2 days are the days that you can update. Emergency fixes you can push through, but at the same token, the end user has to consent to it. So if you release it on a Wednesday, it's up to that end user, whether he's the IT technician for a Fortune 500 company or some guy in his basement who's playing Fortnite. And that's not to look down on the guy playing Fortnite. Some of those guys are really brilliant. But we need to make this regular somehow, because this constant random updating, it's not the way to run a company. It's not even the way to run a computer. With that, we hope you enjoyed this rather random and I'm not going to call it silly because it isn't silly, but just a random spur of the moment episode. If you did, please like, share, because sharing is caring, and hopefully it gets to the right people. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the icon down below. Yeah, clink it, don't click it, clink it. So that way you can be notified every time that we release a new episode. And we hope you have a fantastic day.